Miss Angela Vela, come to the stage! Angela!
Casey Brown, everybody. Casey Brown. Yeah. Awesome. My favorite joke of the night so far was just the uncannily witty rubber band joke. Usually when a rubber breaks, it's not that funny. That was great. Awesome. You guys, we're at the end of the show. Okay, so I was looking at the date. It's January 17th. There's something that we haven't mentioned. We are almost 3 weeks in from New Year's Eve. Has anybody made a resolution this year?
No.
Did anybody? I gave up a long time ago. I was just like, fuck it. But did anybody make one this year at all? Shut up, no. So we're all smart. We all know ourselves. We're just like, forget it. I didn't make one this year either, but I made one last year. And me and my roommate, we realized that we were drinking way too much. We were spending way too much money going out, staying out, so it was affecting our jobs. Like, it was terrible. And so we decided that our New Year's resolution, we were going to do an alcohol detox, right? And so, like, what's like an average detox? It's like 30 days, something like that. So we decided, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to do 30 days. We're not going to drink alcohol. And so we were looking at our calendars, like, okay, when can we start? Because you can't, like, there was too much going on around New Year's Eve itself. So, like, okay, when will we start? So my roommate looked at his phone, and he's like, well, we can't do it next week because my sister's getting married. I'm going to want to drink. And I was like, okay, what about the next one? I was like, oh, you know what, I can't. I've got a show. I'm going to want to drink. And we basically did this week after week after week. We were into April when I realized that we were scheduling our detox around our alcoholism. And I was like, okay, we have a problem. There's clearly a problem. And that does not include the 20-minute conversation on whether or not this even included wine. And it did not include pot because that's how we did it. You just smoke pot every day during your alcohol detox. You'll be fine, right? You make it through. So we did it. I think we almost made it. We almost made it. But so that was our resolution last year. I guess I did win a resolution. I guess my resolution every year is just to live another year. Just to make it again. Just to do it again. And I did it because I recently had a birthday, you guys. Thanks. Yeah. And so the weird thing that I realized that's been happening with the birthdays on the Facebook is people will put on there that, they'll say happy birthday, Angela, like all different variations, and it's awesome. Like it was incredible. I was so excited. And then I just started noticing towards the end of the day, you notice when people just get off work and they're tired, because then they're just like, HBD, happy B, happy BD. And like, it was just a lot of HBDs, happy HBDs. And I started scrolling down my Facebook, and it just looked like I was getting congratulated for getting an STD. It's just a lot of happy HBDs. I feel like I'd call my mom and explain, what that meant. But it's kind of funny too, because it does work. If you think about it, to get there, some people get really depressed for their birthday. They get really upset, like they don't want to go anywhere. Like, oh, I'm 31 now. I mean, not me, I'm 20, but so it's like, people get really depressed. It is kind of funny. It works because if you think about somebody going through their HBD, their happy birthday, and there's like, oh, how was your HBD? It's like, well, I made it through the day. It's, or you can have a buddy system. If you have a friend that's got a birthday near yours, you two can curl up on the couch and get through your HBDs together. Or just curl up with some ice cream and just be like, how was your HBD? Well, it lasted all day, but Sarah had hers too, so we just had it together. It was really great. So it just sounds like just that living another year outbreak. Just get through it with somebody else. So, my birthday was great this year, and I got together with my family, and I don't know what is happening, every time I get together with my family, there's more of us. I don't know if somebody's pouring water on the backs of the gremlins, and they're multiplying, I don't know, but there's so many little kids every time I go, I don't even know who they all are, and so they always put me in charge of the little kids, all the little cousins. I don't understand why, because I'm always drunk or stoned all the time. And I realized maybe that's why they do that. Because they're like, just give it, she's stoned, just give her to the kids. It's fine, she'll be fine. She'll watch cartoons. It's fine. But it's kind of funny because I don't know what to do with all of these little cousins of mine. So I was saying to them the other day, I was like, okay, why don't we play a game that we all can do? I know, let's play red light, green light. And they're like, red light, green light, what's red light, green light? And I get it, because they're like the Xbox, PlayStation generation, like they don't know what kick the can is either. So I'm explaining to them that you guys know red light, green light?
Yeah.
We know, yeah, awesome. So I'm explaining to them the rules of red light, green light. You know, you stop, and then you go, and then you stop. And then I realized something. I realized, I still play red light, green light as an adult. Only it's called Don't Come Inside Me.
Yeah!
The rules are the same, right? Oh yeah, that's the same. You stop and then you go and say, don't you fucking come yet? Don't you fucking come yet? Green light, go. And you will never think of that game the same as a So we're having a pretty mild winter, you guys. Kind of makes me nervous. Like we're gonna have like another massive blizzard soon. But does anybody else here bike all winter or bike regularly? Just me? The only bike out front, I should have known. It's just mine. But yeah, I bike all year round, all winter, and luckily the winters have not been bad. But I've been doing that for a couple years now. I sold my car a couple years ago. I was like, I'm going to finally, bow down and just ride everywhere. And so I was looking the other day, I was looking at the condition that I was when I first started being a regular biker a couple years ago. And I was thinking about it, and, it was a struggle, because I was really, I had a lot of weight on me, and I was really out of shape. I never exercised. It was like a total punch in the face to just suddenly get on a bike every day and do it. And, the cabs, you guys, the cabs drove me nuts, because every time I would go past cabs, they'd honk at me, and I'd be like, oh, fucking perverts, and I always get really offended and flip them off, and be like, what dicks, honking at a girl on a bike, real original. But then, looking back now and looking at my condition, I realized they were probably just honking, just being like, yeah, you're not fooling anyone. Just get off the bike and get in the cab. I'll take you to work. You're sweating. You're crying. Just lock it up. Get in the back. It was probably like a sympathy honk, and maybe I just didn't give them enough credit, But I love biking everywhere, because I get to see the little things in the city that, you might pass by in a car. For example, I was driving down Milwaukee by the Aldi, and there's this great little window shop, you guys. It sold, curtains and drapes and blinds for windows. It was just really cute, and it had this adorable ad in the front. It said, because criminals window shop too. That's perfect. That makes sense. I totally get it. That's a great sign. Perfect for their business. But what I loved was the great visual that I got from that, because I just pictured a criminal couple just walking down the street together in a rich neighborhood like Old Town or Lake Forest or something, or Lincoln Park, and they're just looking at everyone's windows, and she's just like, that sofa would look so good in our apartment. And he says, baby, as soon as they go on vacation, it's yours. I get it. Or maybe if they're expecting a baby, they just look and see which rich families got a pregnant chick, because that nursery shit's new. It's new. You just take that. Or if you want the baby, you just be like, oh, look at that little kid. It'll be like raising Arizona. It'll be great. I want that baby. So, but yeah, it's actually I kind of thought that was a great ad. I really liked it. Speaking of criminal couples, anybody here in a relationship? Anybody here? Oh, we've got a few. So everybody else is single. Great, everyone, because we're drinking. And most of us need rides home, so that's pretty good. It's pretty good. The last relationship that I had, it was this guy, he had a really crazy fetish, and it's not a terribly unusual fetish. It's just it was new to me, and I don't knock fetishes. They're awesome, but he had this fetish that he wanted me to hit him during sex.
Yeah.
Anybody else experience this? Yeah, it's not terribly weird. It's not crazy. It's just it's like, okay, I don't know if I can do this. So we'd be having sex, and he'd be like, hit me, and I was like, I can't. I would laugh. I would try to be so serious for him, but I'd get so I can't do it. and I would try to hit him, and it was like such a girly slap. Like, I can't. And he got like really mad. So to compromise, I just started texting him really threatening messages all day. I figured he could just jerk off to that. And that didn't last long, so so that was that. But I tried. That was my compromise. But texting. Speaking of texting, I have a new phone. I have a Verizon Android touchscreen. Does anybody have a Verizon Android? I don't know if it's all across the board for Verizons or not. It's new to me, but if you notice, when you lose, when your internet is down, when your 4G is down, it'll say on your screen, connection lost, tap to retry. And I thought, well, of course, why should this be different from any of my other relationships? Like, Verizon gets my breakup sex. And then there's actually another screen that I've noticed that comes up, and it'll say, cannot find secure connection. I'm like, no shit, jackass, I'm single. No shit. Kind of felt like that was pretty good. Speaking of being single, there's been a lot of mention tonight about cats and people having cats. I work at a cat shelter, assholes. Just laugh now. No, but I do. Actually, I do. I work at a cat shelter during the day. I'm a caretaker there. And then at night, I work at a convent. Yeah, go me. So actually, basically what happens there is I'm just never getting laid. I never get laid, pretty much. That, and then I also have nightmares of nuns with cats just attacking me all the time. All the time, yeah. But my job, working at a cat shelter, it does make dating kind of interesting because most my last 5 boyfriends were all allergic to cats. Like, I just should know from now on that's a sign. But the other thing too is whenever I go to hang out with the guy for the first time, it pretty much kind of, even right now, but I'm always cut, I'm always scratched up and bit everywhere, all over the time. And so I always notice people looking at my hands, and I used to be like, look, man, I'm not a fucking cutter. Alright, I'm not a cutter, I just work at a cat shelter. I mean, not since high school. High school was rough, So it was bad. But actually, then I thought, too, I was like, well, what if that's what people do when you're a cutter and you're trying to stop? You just work at a cat shelter because they'll fuck you up for you. They will do it for you. They'll take care of that. But yeah, so it's kind of, that aspect's interesting. But I love my job at the convent, which is funny because, I'm an atheist, but that doesn't matter because it's a job, But, sometimes people expect you to be, religious, really, and I'm just like, look, man, I just answer phones. All right. But it's pretty cool because my actual job title, this convent is, stuck in the past. It's very much, there's no technology there. There is a computer, but, I was surprised because my actual job title is switchboard attendant. Switchboard attendant. I thought I was going to sit down to a typewriter, but it is cool because I literally am connecting calls because the nuns don't have cell phones, but there is this machine that I can literally connect calls, and it's great because I just feel I'm oh, Baltimore, right away. Cincinnati, sure. And just I just feel oh, absolutely. It's cool. I like it. Connecting calls like that. But it's kind of city, there's no technology, and it's just really weird, but also, I often will leave the cat shelter and go to the convent back to back all the time. I work at least 3 double shifts a week like that. And what usually happens is I'm so tired that I often mix up the phone calls when I answer them. So, I'll be at the convent and I'll answer and I'll be like, thank you for calling Chicago Convent where we spay and neuter for less. That happens. Let's see what's another one. This is Angela. Thank you for calling Chicago Convent. No, we cannot take any strays. We don't have the isolation space. And let's see, another one. Thank you for calling Chicago Convent. Adoption hours are Monday, Friday, Wednesday. So that kind of happens sometimes. But yeah, so you guys have been awesome. That's it for me tonight. Thank you so much. Please welcome to the stage, Tracy Brown.